So to answer the question, is Wonder Woman worth watching? Yes, it is. It is worth watching, but it's not that great. I know on like other episodes that I recorded, I was hyping it up and I really was excited to watch it, and I did binge on it. However, it just got super bland. It's not as bad as mine, but at the same time, I was expecting it to like have some type of amazing result. Okay, that makes no sense. So basically, even when they showed us the plot twist, I was caught off guard, but at the same time I was just like, oh, okay, like I didn't feel any thrill, and I was able to predict everything, and I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, I feel like these days it's hard for a drama to actually satisfy. No, like the ending of a drama is hard for it to satisfy what I want. So I don't blame the drama, but at the same time, I feel like I had so much high expectations for it and I was just disappointed. I don't think I will ever go back to rewatch the entire thing. I might watch some clips for the chemistry, for the female lead of course, and for the villain, to be honest. And okay, to explain this better to you guys, I was gonna title this Watch Wonder Woman, I Promise You Won't Regret It. However, I changed my mind. And y'all know that I always title content that I really appreciate that way. If I really appreciate a drama, then when I'm putting out an episode on it, that's how I title it basically. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is I changed my mind from titling this drama that way because it ended up disappointing me. But it's not bad. It's not bad. Overall, I would give it an 8.5 to a 9. But I would give it a solid 8.5. I just have mixed feelings about everything, to be honest. Like, it started off really great. So like I even told you guys how much I loved it on previous episodes, and now it's like, yeah, it was okay. Like, that's all I can say about it. Like, now that I've completed it, I'm just like, it was okay. But I remember when I started, and like for the first 13 episodes, okay, there are only 16 episodes, so I say from episode 1 to episode 13, like I felt the thrill, and then afterwards it just wasn't as great. But I feel like it's because I was really looking forward to watching it, like I told you guys. But anyway, so it is good. It's definitely not a waste of time. Definitely check it out. It is worth it. There is not a lot of romance, but there is a little, and I still appreciate it. It's so cute. And oh my gosh, guys, the humor in this, like, it is so funny. Lee Honey always acts funny roles, like, and she pulls it off so well. But what makes this even more amazing is because she plays two characters. One is like super rough. I don't know the word to describe her. She is just like so down to earth and a normal person basically. And the other is like wealthy and she's so elegant. I mean, I feel bad for describing them that way, but she's like so calm and collected. And then the other character is like a prosecutor and she's just like tough, right, and strong-willed, while the other rich one, like, she's get bullied by her in-laws and stuff. So watching Lee Honey play those two really like emphasized how good of an actress she is. Like, sometimes I forgot that they were the same person. That's how good it was. It just looked like two people who looked alike, but not the same like actress. I'm not even kidding. Y'all need to watch it, see what I'm talking about. And oh my gosh, in the ending of the first episode, there was like a drama reference and crossover. So y'all know that she was in the fiery priest, fiery priest. And I have not actually watched that drama. I have watched clips and I generally know what it's about, but it's just funny. Like, the two other characters from that drama, they made a cameo appearance. And one thing you have to know about Wonder Woman is at the end of every episode we have an epilogue, and the epilogue is actually a very important part of like the episode. It basically shows us something that they skipped over or whatever. So make sure every time you're watching, just wait for the usual dramatic end credits, and then afterwards they show you an epilogue. And this is not that important, but Jung-hwa from EXID is acting in this. She was like a side character. Now, EXID was my number one girl group. Like, I was a huge stan. And I love Jung-hwa. However, I was just like so irritated, especially because the role that she played here was so irritating. So like, combining those two things, the fact that I don't like watching idols act and the fact that she was irritating, like her character was so stupid, it ticked me off. It really did. Like I was just like, whenever they showed her, I would just groan and I would be like, skip, because yeah. But she wasn't bad. In terms of execution, I don't know. Because like I said, the character that she was supposed to play was like super dramatic and super annoying. So I can't really judge her acting based on what I saw, because if I say what's on my mind, I'm gonna get a lot of hate, and I do love Jung-hwa, so I'm just gonna hold it back. Maybe if she's in something in the future and I do watch it, hopefully that'll be better, and if my opinions do change, then I will definitely let you guys know that she is a great actress whenever I see that. Ouch. Okay, so let me tell you guys what this drama is about. Basically, we have a prosecutor and we have this rich lady. They are doppelgangers. They are not related in any way, but they just look identical, right? The prosecutor, she also comes from a family of gangsters, and so she literally fights other gangsters. So basically, she knows how corrupt the law is and how the other prosecutors are. Like, they take bribes and then they just get rid of the case. So whenever they force her to do that, she fixes the issue by using her gangster like side. So she would basically take the money. Like, if she's forced to get bribed, literally, she would take the money and then she would hire her two uncles. They're not really her uncles, it's all complicated, but she would hire her two uncles to basically deal with the criminal, if that makes any sense. And they usually give back the money. So I don't know, it's like she's not doing anything right, but at the same time justice is being served and she is getting justice, but she's doing it her own way. And this is not really an important part, it's like a trivial aspect, but I'm just telling you guys like the introduction. And so I told you that the rich one, like the rich lady, used to get bullied by her in-laws, and they basically tried to kill her. But instead of hitting her with the car, they hit the prosecutor, because on the day that they wanted to kill her, the prosecutor and the rich lady both went to the same function. It was like an auction for paintings and whatever. They went to the same event and they wore exactly the same thing. Obviously, this is fiction. Like, what are the chances that, first of all, you have someone who's identical to you and y'all wear the same thing and go to the same place? But anyway, so they end up hitting the wrong person, and then when she wakes up, she loses her memory. However, the rich lady disappears, and so the prosecutor has to act like the rich lady, and she has to go live with them and go through like all the bullying and whatever. But the thing is, the prosecutor, I told you guys how tough she is, so obviously she doesn't take any BS from anyone, and it's just like, I really appreciated watching how she just changed things. And the person that we thought was actually one of the best, like out of the kids and the in-laws, like the one that I was like, oh, she's so sweet, she turned out to be the villain. This is not a spoiler because you're gonna know like something is sus about her, and she turned out to be the villain. But I love this woman. I don't know what it is about female villains, or it's because of the story attached to why she's a villain. I think that's what I appreciate the most. Anyway, so yeah, that is a basic rundown of Wonder Woman. That is like 2% of what the entire thing is about, because I just told you guys the introduction. This all happens either in episode 1 and episode 2 or just in episode 1. So once again, it's not that big of a spoiler. Like, I was low-key rooting for the villain. Like, I hated her, but basically I told you guys that there's something relating to her story, and it's basically like Sodana. You know how female kids or like female children are not given the same opportunities as male children? Like, she works so hard for the company, but she knows that she's never gonna have it because she's a girl. And so I was kind of rooting for her because I wanted her to take over, but at the same time, she was a horrible person and she was using violence and everything that she could to take people out of her way to get to the top, and that made me super angry. But at the same time, I was just like, you go girl, but at the same time I'm like, I hate you. I don't know, I had mixed feelings, to be honest. And also, one thing to know is that, okay, so the rich lady, her name is Mina, and the prosecutor, her name is Yeonju. They're both played by Lee Hani. Mina has a husband, obviously, because I told you she lives with her in-laws, but her husband is basically cheating on her with Jung-hwa's character. I don't even remember what the character name was. That's really not that important, so it's not a spoiler, but it's just funny because we have a male lead and a second lead, but Mina's husband is not even in the equation. I don't know, I just find that super funny. And right, I have not mentioned, but Lee Sang-yoon is the male lead. I love this man so much. I watched him in Angel Eyes. I dropped the drama, so it doesn't count. I think I watched him in 20 again. Yeah, I love that man so much. He is so cute. He is a hottie, but he's adorable at the same time. He has such a pretty smile. And you guys, I know that we've been hyping up the dimple couple from Hometown Cha Cha Cha, but can we really appreciate the dimple couple in this drama? Like Lee Sang-yoon and Lee Han-hee both have dimples. It's so cute. But yeah, as I was saying about the villain, I loved her, but then she just got so sick at one point. I was just like, oh hell no, bro. Like she just got too bad. I love her a lot, but I don't think she made my skin crawl like how Kim So-hyun from Sky Castle did. So like, even though they're both villains and I love both of them, there's just something about Kim So-hyun from Sky Castle that makes you wanna like, I don't know how to explain. I mean, I felt that way sometimes for the villain in this. I actually don't know her name. This is the first thing I'm watching of her, but I really like her. Yeah, I don't know what it is about the character. I can't explain it. You need to watch to understand. Anyway, so I told you guys that it has a lot of humor. Oh my gosh, like it is so funny. So alright, if you don't know, what is his name? He was in Sassy Go-Go. How can I forget? The heck? Why don't I remember? He was also in Jugglers. That is interesting. I don't remember what his name is. Wongun? Lee Wongun. I think that's what it is. Anyway, I will come in with an edit if I said his name wrong, but he is in this. He is kind of the second lead, but at the same time they were friends. He's also a prosecutor, and Yeonju, like I told you, is a prosecutor. I would say the female lead in this is Yeonju, because even though they're two characters like who look exactly the same, she basically has to play both. Like I'm talking about how Yeonju has to play both. Like obviously Lee Han is playing both characters, and then in the drama Yeonju has to play both characters as well, because she is pretending to be Mina when Mina disappears, and also when she gets hit instead of Mina. But like I told you guys, I did feel torn. Like I hated to see the villain lose as a woman, but at the same time it's just like she was getting too bad. Like literally they were even saying they need to stop her because she's going to destroy herself, not just everyone else that she's trying to destroy. But I feel like the writers played with me in general. Like they did that a lot. It's like they're kind of drawing the line between good and bad, but it's such a thin line, if that makes any sense. Like how Yeonju uses violence to solve the cases sometimes, even though she is getting justice, she's doing it the wrong way, if that makes any sense. Like that's how I felt about the villain. I really wanted the villain to go up. I wanted her to take over the company or whatnot, but I hated the fact that she was doing everything that she was doing just to get to that point. Like also, Yeonju's dad was a good person, but then he was a gang leader. It's like, I don't know how to explain. They did have a kiss scene. I think they had one. I only remember one kissing. No, they had two, but I think their first official kissing was there was humor in that. I cannot. Just look forward to that. Bro, I'm not overly Sang-yoon. Like, how is he so beautiful? He literally has this like pure adorable look, and I think his eyes really add to that. But yeah, there's not a lot of romance. They have cute chemistry. Oh my gosh, Lee Sang-yoon is a cutie. I don't know how much I have to say it, but he really is. Like I'm smiling like an idiot right now just thinking about him. He's just so tall. They once described him in the drama as a guy with big eyes, and now I cannot unsee it. Like I always knew like his eyes were not tiny, but ever since they were like, yeah, you mean the guy with big eyes, I was like, oh, he does have big eyes, and he's just so cute when he smiles. Oh my god. I would say the pace of everything in this drama was perfect, in the way like things were going by. Like even though the ending wasn't that great, I still think the pace was amazing. I don't think they dragged it at all. And I just really love how Yoo-jun, how fearless his character was. Like he didn't give two F's about no one. So basically he was just like a really righteous prosecutor. Like even when the chief prosecutors will tell him to do stuff, he will literally just be like no. And he didn't care about losing his job or like getting a promotion. He never took bribes. Like damn, he was an example of what prosecutors should be like. Oh my gosh, but y'all want to know something? So one of the bad people in this is the chief prosecutor, and he is actually played by this man that's always playing funny things. He was in Strong Woman Do Bong Soon. I think he played the two roles in Strong Woman Do Bong Soon. His name is Kim Won-hae. I've talked about him before. He was also in Are You Human too. He played Sung-yeon's character's dad. Did I just make sense? Yeah, Sung-yeon's character's dad. What else has he been in? He's like always in everything. He wasn't clearly my passion for now. He was the female lead's dad as well. But yeah, I think the most popular one is Strong Woman Do Bong-soon, because like he played two iconic characters. He played a double ganger role as well. Anyway, so it was just interesting to see him be a bad person in this, because like I really hated him, but his parts always had the humor. Like for the female villain, she was just like a horrible person. I don't think there's any funny parts in her parts, but what am I talking about? I don't think there's any humor in her parts. But then for Kim Won-ae's parts, like every single part of him was hilarious, even though like you would want to slap him through the screen. What else do I want to tell you guys? Oh yeah, I loved Yeonju, like just in general, how righteous she was. But that's the thing, I don't think I can call her righteous, because sometimes she wasn't that righteous. But it's just, she's so cool. Like, she always said she was gonna use the law to fight. Like, she wasn't gonna do it the wrong way, which is kind of ironic, because I told you guys that in the beginning she sometimes used violence to solve things, but it wasn't like bad violence. I mean, there's nothing like bad or good violence. It's just, you need to watch it to understand what I'm talking about. I would say this drama could have done a better job at helping us see why the villain was the way she was. Like at one point I was like, okay, maybe she's that way because of her dad, and then they would show us flashback scenes and I'm like, or is her dad the way he is because of her? Like, I don't even know who's worse, if she is worse or if her dad is worse. I don't want to tell you her name because I don't want to spoil it yet, because when they introduce us to the family, we're literally trying to find who the worst of the worst is, and you're gonna think like she is good, but she's actually bad. Okay, I feel like I just gave away too much. Sorry. But yeah, the plot twist was unexpected. They really caught me off guard. They could have done a better job with selecting the actress. Okay, I'm just gonna save this part to talk about in the unfiltered part, because I have said part so often. I'm so sorry, but I don't want to give away too much. What else? Yeah, I just think it's interesting how dramas like this always shows us like the rich families, or like the super wealthy families, they don't even consider themselves as family. They consider themselves as competition, and they're literally just trying to go up in the corporate field and in their business and grow their business. Like, that's all they care about. I'm like, what the heck? To me, the moral of the story is that greed can kill. Like, we have a lot of people, rich people in power, that just abuse the law and the authority that they have, and it's all because of their greed. I feel like this drama has a very good interpretation of that, and it really shows that in the relationship between the villain and her dad. Literally, both of them were just greedy people, and that's why everything happened. Like, I don't get it. Like, I know we're never going to be satisfied as human beings, but I'm just like, do you really have to go to this extent? Like, it's not that deep. It's really not that deep. But yeah, towards the end, I think one reason that I really didn't get it was because they built up the tension, and I was really expecting, like, waiting for something. They were talking about how there's evidence for this, evidence for that, and then when the truth came out, when like they revealed what the evidence was, I was just like, oh, okay. Like, it wasn't that great. Okay, so like I said, overall the ending was not as strong as the beginning, but I'll still say it is worth watching. I know that this was all over the place. Like, I just threw out random thoughts to you guys, but that's basically a summary of how I feel about Wonder Woman, if that makes any sense. So I'm just going to go ahead and read the plot synopsis off of Asian Wiki, and let's see. So Wonder Woman has 16 episodes. Each episode should be about an hour, or 45 minutes to an hour. Yeah, it literally was done airing November 6th, and today's November 9th, so yeah. So here's the plot synopsis for Wonder Woman by Asian Wiki staff. Shout out to Asian Wiki again. Jo Yeon-ju, played by Leonie, is a corrupt prosecutor. Wow. Corrupt. Okay. Due to a case, she loses her memory. She begins to live as the daughter-in-law Kang Min-na, played by Leonie again, of a chaebol family who looks just like Jo Yeon-ju. Meanwhile, Han Sung-wook, played by Lee Sang-yoon, is the son of a chaebol family. He hasn't gotten over his first love. He gets involved with Jo Yeon-ju, who lost her memory. Was that supposed to help?